We've gotten our hands on the first two big foldable smartphones of 2019, and so it's time to compare the Samsung Galaxy Fold with the Huawei Mate X and see how these dramatically different devices actually measure up. Both run Android, both are impressive at a technical level, and both are of course insanely expensive. But these two take very different approaches to this futuristic product category. Let's break down some of the early specs we have available to us. On the Samsung side, unsurprisingly, the Galaxy Fold takes the core hardware of the Galaxy S10 Plus and spins it out into something completely new. And on the Huawei side, the Mate X is a close relative of the Mate 20 and P30 series of phones. Aside from the relative benefits of a Kirin processor versus Snapdragon, or the question of whether you need 8 or 12 GB of RAM, the differences between these two are pretty fundamental. The Galaxy Fold is what we here at Android Central have come to call an innie. That means it opens out to reveal an internal tablet display. The Mate X, on the other hand, has just one physical display panel, and how much of it is enabled depends on how you're actually using it. Quick example here, with the Fold you start out using apps on the bezel-tastic external display, then opening the device gives you a larger canvas that's entirely separate. With the Mate you start out with one section of the expansive plastic OLED display that then unfolds to activate the rest of it. Fun little aside here, Huawei's approach actually has a couple extra benefits when it comes to photography, since having a display here means you can use the main cameras to take selfies or show your subject a preview as you're shooting. The Galaxy Fold has the same great triple rear camera setup as the Galaxy S10, but that's only available for rear photos. For selfies, you've got a separate dual camera array cut into the display. It's also a bit less fiddly to open out the Huawei device thanks to this spring-activated button clip mechanism. The Mate also gives you a thicker handle area to hold onto when the device is fully opened out. And of course the Mate X has a much more expansive phone mode display too. Compare this bezel-free, notch-free setup with the larger borders on offer from the Samsung device. The Fold does strike me as the more ergonomic of the two phones though. By design, the Huawei Mate X is a big boxy rectangle, and in day-to-day use it's really not clear whether having all these corners is really going to be comfortable in the hand or in the pocket. To say nothing of unique challenges for left-handed users. The unique nature of each of these hinges also dictates how much space it'll take up in the pocket, and right now the Galaxy Fold is looking like being the thicker of the two when it's folded shut. The mechanism of the Mate X means that although it's got a larger footprint, it folds much flatter than the Fold. While we're talking build quality, it's definitely worth mentioning the couple display issues faced by reviews of the Galaxy Fold. Of the few review devices out there in the hands of journos and YouTubers, 2 have spontaneously failed during normal use, which has led to the launch of this phone being pushed back a whole month. We've got a deeper dive on what is being called Foldgate in another video. Of course, we don't yet know what kind of other issues might appear on the Mate X over time because no one outside Huawei actually has one. The software is also another major concern. Samsung's One UI and Huawei's EMUI are dramatically different, and if we're talking about regular phone use, then Samsung software is almost always the winner. That said, in my time with the Mate X in Barcelona a couple months back, I saw the phone transition between tablet and phone mode without a hitch. Still, it's worth remembering Huawei's less than stellar reputation in the software department, especially when we're talking about a first-generation product. However, the biggest deciding factor between these two phones, assuming you have the cash to splash, might actually be your geography. There's no way the Mate X is officially launching in the United States, so unless you want to chance it and go for an unofficial import, the Galaxy Fold might actually be the only big-name foldable phone American buyers have access to. In markets like Europe where both are available, it's worth underscoring the significant price difference between the two as well, with the Mate X going $600 beyond the already hefty $2,000 price tag of the Fold. Honestly, both of these devices are going to be a bit of a gamble in terms of both value for money and longevity. They're first-gen gadgets, and as such both venture out into very uncharted territory. If you're even in the market for a product like this, chances are you have a fair bit of disposable income available. And so the choice comes ultimately down to where in the world you live and which approach to an early foldable phone floats your boat. Innie or outie, One UI or EMUI, flat or chunky, one screen or two. Hit the comments, let us know which one you choose, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of our coverage here on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.